All right, let's dive into something pretty fascinating today. We're going to explore a really cool concept, how you could build a cryptocurrency whose value is actually tied to a real physical product. Let's get into it. You know the drill with crypto, right? The wild price swings, the value that seems to be based on pure hype. It can be a roller coaster. But what if we could change that? What if a digital coin had real intrinsic value, something you could actually see and touch? That's the big question we're tackling. And the answer, well, it's beautifully simple. The whole idea is to create a direct link, an anchor between that digital coin and a physical thing. You can almost think of it as a digital receipt for something real. This gives the coin a foundational value, something solid, bridging that gap between the crazy crypto world and the, grounded world of physical goods. So how would you actually build something like this? I mean, if you were a founder looking to start this project, you'd have a few different models to work with. So let's open up the toolbox and take a look at the three main ways you could structure this. First up, and honestly the most important for our idea, is the asset-backed token. This is the most direct path you can take. The token is basically a digital claim on a real-world asset. And this is so crucial because it gives the crypto an inherent value, one that's rooted in something tangible that people actually want. You've definitely seen this model in action with stablecoins. They can be pegged to regular currency, like USDT, or even commodities, like gold with PAX Gold. But, and this is a huge but, this approach isn't a silver bullet. The spectacular collapse of algorithmic stablecoins like Terra USD is a huge cautionary tale. It proves that the quality of what's backing your token is absolutely everything. Okay, our second tool is the utility token. Now, instead of representing ownership of something, its value comes from what it lets you do. Think of it like a special key or a token at an arcade. It could get you discounts on the physical product, give you exclusive access, or just be the way you pay for things inside the project's world. And the third tool in our box is the governance token. This one is all about community, all about decentralization. If you hold these tokens, you get a vote. You get a real say in where the project is headed. It literally turns users into stakeholders who can help steer the ship, deciding on everything from new product ideas to marketing plans. So if we put them all side by side, which tool is right for the job? Well, looking at this, the asset-backed model is clearly the best fit for our goal, but its biggest risk is actually managing those physical reserves. On the other hand, utility and governance tokens aren't quite as direct, but they're fantastic for building an engaged community, though their success really depends on people actually showing up and participating. Okay, now for the reality check. Because linking something digital to something physical, well, that's not just about writing code. It's about dealing with the messy, unpredictable real world and all the risks that come along for the ride. I mean, it sounds pretty revolutionary, doesn't it? A stable, tangible crypto. But with any big idea, you have to ask, what's the catch? What are the things that could go wrong when the blockchain smacks right into the supply chain? And the challenges, yeah, they're pretty significant. All of a sudden, you're not just worrying about crypto market swings. You're worrying about a spike in the cost of raw materials or a shipping container getting stuck at sea. You have to think about physical storage, about theft, about making sure the product is real and not a fake, and all while the legal rules are constantly changing. These are some serious practical problems. Now, facing those risks might sound a little overwhelming, but it doesn't mean the whole idea is a bust. Not at all. It just means you need a smarter plan. So let's look at the blueprint for how you could actually make this work. The smartest path forward isn't about picking just one of those tools from our toolbox. It's about combining them. The solution is a hybrid model. You use the asset backing to get that core stability and real value, but then you layer on utility features like discounts or special access to get people excited and build a real community around the product. So how do you handle all those real-world risks we talked about? Well, the blueprint calls for a defense in depth. First, you hold more assets in your reserves than you technically need. That creates a buffer. Then you bring in outside auditors to prove to everyone that the physical stuff is actually there. You get insurance, of course. You use tech to track authenticity. And you work with lawyers from day one. It's all about building trust through being super transparent and super prepared. This quote from the source material really just sums it all up perfectly. Success isn't just about having a cool product or some clever code. It's the combination of things. A rock-solid financial plan, a totally transparent process, and, maybe most importantly, a real focus on building a community that truly believes in what you're doing. And that brings us to our final and most important question. Is this the future? Could tying crypto to real-world things be the breakthrough that finally brings some much-needed stability to the digital economy? It is a massive challenge, for sure. But as we've seen, a clear blueprint for how to do it exists. And it just might be the anchor the crypto world has been searching for. Thanks for tuning in.